The case of Ruth Rder is a chilling narrative that highlights the vulnerability of the elderly. Her kidnapping and murder at the hands of Gilbert and Erick Elliot represents a wave of crimes. These crimes unfolded over a brief period, marking a tragedy for her community and the nation. The story begins in a quiet neighborhood in Ohio, where the frail Mrs. Rder, 79 years old and battling cancer, lives alone. On the night of her abduction, her life, surrounded by family love, turns into a nightmare. When she hears noises in her kitchen, she assumes it is her granddaughter, but instead she encounters intruders. These intruders strip away her security and ultimately her life. Sheriff Walter Wilson and local authorities play a crucial role in the search for Rder. The community rallies to help, forming a command center. They aim to locate her before her critical condition worsens. However, the initial search yields no results. A witness mentions seeing Rder's car with a young man behind the wheel, marking the beginning of a lead. This lead will escalate into a larger tragedy. Shortly after, other incidents emerge, including the disappearance of a 16-year-old boy, Erick Elliot, in the same county where Rder went missing. This raises alarms among authorities, who begin to wonder if there is a connection. The activation of the National Crime Information Center, NCIC, to track both cases highlights the magnitude of the problem. It suggests it could involve a serial criminal. The situation takes a tragic turn when in Missouri, Rder's stolen car is discovered on a farm. The absence of her body in the trunk suggests she could be dead. Simultaneously, authorities find the bodies of an elderly couple murdered under similar circumstances to Rder's. The police begin to realize that there may be a pattern of violence extending beyond Ohio. Gilbert and Erick Elliot are not only suspects in Ruth's disappearance, but also in a double homicide. Officials work against the clock to gather evidence and apprehend the youths before they strike again. The search intensifies with the FBI's assistance, fearing that more innocents are at risk. The pattern of the criminals' chosen victims, elderly, defenseless individuals, reveals a horrifying trend. The lack of humanity demonstrated in their crimes is shocking, highlighting their ease in targeting vulnerable people. As the investigation progresses and a profile of the suspects emerges, it becomes clear capturing Gilbert and Elliot is necessary to halt their killing spree. The eventual arrest of these suspects in New Mexico concludes a multi-state pursuit. During interrogation, Gilbert begins to reveal details about his crime. His chilling account of how they approached, abducted, and murdered Rder emphasizes the premeditated nature of their actions. The unsettling belief that they could dispose of lives so callously casts a shadow over human nature. The lack of closure for Rder's family echoes the system's failure to protect its most vulnerable citizens. Gilbert's confession, which includes tying up his victim and shooting her, starkly illustrates the total dehumanization of Rder. Authorities and the community grapple with the painful reality of losing Ruth Rder. She was well known and beloved. Ultimately, the account of Ruth Rder and the murders committed by Gilbert and Elliot serves as a stark reminder of life's fragility. It highlights the urgent need to protect the vulnerable. The actions of these young men left scars not only on their victims, but reverberated throughout society. This reminds us of the importance of empathy and safeguarding our elders. It is crucial when sharing these stories to foster a collective awareness that promotes safety and well-being for all. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video to continue sharing more stories and analyses.